Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at a Cthulhu Wars expansion called Azathoth. This is a new faction and gives you several miniatures. There's 13 minis. You get a rulebook, 6 neutral spellbooks, 5 loyalty cards, Azathoth spellbook, Azathoth marker. Then the minis are Azathoth, 3-dimensional shamblers, 3 elder things, 3 servitors of the outer gods, and 3 star vampires. So, let's open this up and see what's in here. This runs for about 60 bucks. And if you buy it online, these are kind of hard to find, so be expecting to pay more than 60 bucks. You might be able to get it from Petersen Games directly on their website, but since these just came out, probably going to be a little harder to get. These are the Kickstarter versions, the Omega Edition, so might be a little more challenging and probably a little more expensive. But let's take a look at this and see what is in here. Now these are gray factions, so should be pretty interesting to read their cards. Alright, let's get into this. There we go. The box is nice and sturdy. Petersen Games does good quality. I'm generally really happy with that. Alright, here's the rule book. Pretty nice art. There's pictures of everything that is in the box. And, you know, it's very art oriented. Not actually a whole lot of new rules. Frequently asked questions about neutral stuff, independent grade old ones. They're an independent faction, so it makes it a little easier. So here are the cards, and we'll look at the minis after that. Let me zoom in so we can get a better look at this stuff, and we'll take a look at what we got. Alright, so first up, let's look at the cards. I'll leave the spell book out so you can kind of stare at that for a second. Alright, Azathoth is an independent great old one, and standard rules for independent supply. We've already read these in several videos, so I'm just going to skip the flavor text and general stuff that I've read half a dozen times now. Now this card has been pretty banged up, so you can see there's some scuffing around the edges. Thankfully most of it is on the throwaway bit and not on the actual card, but on the front here there might be a little bit of dinging. So, and this, well, no, popped right out, so should be okay. Yeah, it's nice thick cardstock though. So alright, so Azathoth to awaken is cost 0. Number 1, you must have 8+ power and your great old one at your controlled gate. 2, roll 1 die and add 2 to the total, then lose that much power, i.e. 3 to 8. 3, all enemy players choose and simultaneously reveal a die face. Each receives power equal to the reveal, i.e. 1 through 6. The players with the lowest score lose. The player with the lowest score loses 2 doom points. Total the dice and place the Azathoth glyph on that spot on the doom track. Place Azathoth at your controlled gate. Combat equals the position of the Azathoth glyph on the doom track. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Demon Sultan, ongoing. If Azathoth is assigned a kill in battle, roll 1 die. Lower the Azathoth marker by the result. If the marker reaches 0, Azathoth is killed. Now to get the spell book, all players have at least 1 great old one in play. And the spell is Nuclear Chaos. Action, cost 0. Each player rolls 1d6. The player or players with the highest roll gains that much power. The player or players with the lowest roll gain that many elder signs. You may choose to add or subtract 1 to your die after seeing all results. Flip this spellbook face down. It cannot be used again in this action phase. Flip it again face up during gather power. Alright. So let's look at the little dude cards, servitors and whatnot. These are neutral monsters. I've read those cards too, so we're just going to cut right to the chase. Alright, Dimensional Shamblers. Pay 2 doom points to obtain this loyalty card. Place 1 dimensional shambler on your faction card. Cost of 2, combat 2. Walk between worlds, ongoing. When summoned, place on your faction card. After any action by any player, place 1 or more dimensional shamblers from your faction card to any area. Once placed, dimensional shamblers remain on the map until killed or otherwise eliminated. Next, Elder Thing. Paid 2 doom points to obtain this loyalty card. Place 1 Elder Thing at your controlled gate. Cost 2, combat 2, mind control, ongoing. If an Elder Thing shares an area with an enemy Great Old One, the latter may not use its special abilities. Servitor of the Outer Gods. Now there's 3 of these in the box. Pay 2 doom to take this loyalty card, but do not keep it. Instead, hand it to another player who now has it for the rest of the game. Do not place a Servitor. Cost 1, combat -1. Adulation, ongoing. You may not summon any monsters except Servitors if any Servitors are still in your pool. You may place other monsters on the map via abilities or other means which are not the summon action. This ability is not optional. Well, that's just a jerk move. Star Vampires. There's 3 of these in the box as well. Pay 2 doom to obtain this loyalty card. Place 1 Star Vampire at your controlled gate. Cost of 2, combat value 1, vampirism, battle. Roll the Star Vampires combat dice separately. Each pain they roll drains 1 power from the enemy faction. Each kill they roll drains 1 doom point from the enemy faction. The drained points are transferred to you immediately. If the enemy faction lacks power or doom points, you get nothing. The pains and kills rolled still count toward your battle results. Alright, those guys are pretty awesome. Now let's get to the Azathoth spellbooks. And there's the token at the top. Don't accidentally throw it away. Thankfully they printed this one on the front with the spellbook, so you'll see it there. But you won't on this side, so don't throw that away. You need that. Alright, the first one, the Mao Ceremony. Gather power phase. At the end of gather power after the minimum power rule, but before determined first player, you may choose to eliminate 1 or more of your own cultists, gaining 1 power for each. Okay, number 2, Umar at Tawil, ongoing. Gates cost you 1 less power to create. Third spell, Undimensioned. Action costs 2, rearrange your units among their areas as you see fit. You may completely empty an area, but you may not move to any new areas. Number 4, Recriminations. Action cost 1. Remove any spellbook, including this one, from your faction card and replace it with another available spellbook. That's kind of neat. Shriveling. Pre-battle. Select an enemy monster or cultist in the battle. That unit is eliminated and the owner receives power equal to the unit's cost. And lastly, Stars Are Right, Doom Phase. During the Doom Phase, if you turn in Elder Signs for Doom points, you also immediately receive power equal to their face value. That's kind of neat. Alright, so those are interesting. So let's get these out of the way and look at the minis. Alright, first up we've got, what are these guys? Dimensional Shamblers. So there's 3 of these in the box. I'm only seeing 2. Where's the other one? Okay, they're just tucked away in weird places. Alright, so you got 3 of that guy. Just a creepy looking person, more or less. It's got like lots of teeth going on. Pretty sketchy looking monster, really. And one of his feet is backwards, so that's weird. So yeah, that's pretty cool mini. Then we've got the Star Vampire. Or no, the Servitor of the Outer Gods, rather. So this is the Servitor. Yeah, it's a much bigger mini, very heavy. So lots of little bits hanging off of him. I'd be a little worried about these arms. They do glue on at the joint, but I'd still be a little worried about breaking one. But they're nice quality, so I over worry sometimes. All right, who's left? Let's see. Oh wait, that might be the Star Vampire. My bad. Which one is which? I can't tell what's what. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the Star Vampire. The Servitor of the Outer Gods is this guy with a little flute here. So they can really ruin your day because they're -1 combat. And there are 3 of them, so you have to have them all out before you can start summoning other people. And then the Elder Thing, which is really cool looking piece. It's got like this maw here. A lot of detailing on these guys. Yeah, I'm real happy with these. So these are cool looking. And then lastly, we've got Azathoth, who's a very big guy. Let's get these out of the way. Get him up. So yeah, big heavy piece. The back tentacle, there's a couple of those that are glued on. Otherwise, it looks like it's mostly one piece. So looks like Starro from the Justice League comic book from the 60s. But nice big heavy solid guy all around. Really cool looking. If you paint this dude up, he's gonna look awesome. But that appears to be everything. Let's get a group shot here. There's a lot here. I think this would be a real interesting one to use in a game, because they are neutral monsters and an independent great old one. So it could really change things up. And it doesn't look as unbalanced as the other faction we looked at. Since they are neutrals and independents, anybody can grab them. But I think they've got a little bit more flexibility than some of the others. And yeah, definitely interesting pack altogether. I think this is a good one. It's a little pricey, but I think it would be worth it. But that is what is in the package, or inside as it were. So that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.